I've been heading down a one-way street, can't turn around. You've been taking every part of me, now you know where to be found. You got me confused, a little off balance. Thought I knew you, but you got bad habits. I only see blue when I'm thinking about you, thinking about you. I'm feeling anxious and slowly breaking. Give you my heart, but you keep my waiting. Searching for answers, no explanation. You make love so complicated. I'm feeling anxious and slowly breaking. Give you my heart, but you keep my waiting. Searching for answers, no explanation. You make love so complicated. You make love so complicated. I thought I knew you. You make love so complicated. I give you my heart. You make love so complicated. So damn tired of trying to understand why I still believe that what we have was ever meant to last. Guess you made a fool of me. You got me confused, a little off balance. Thought I knew you, but you got bad habits. I only see blue when I'm thinking about you, thinking about you. I'm feeling anxious and slowly breaking. Give you my heart, but you keep my waiting. Searching for answers, no explanation. You make love so complicated. I'm feeling anxious and slowly breaking. Give you my heart, but you keep my waiting. Searching for answers, no explanation. You make love so complicated. I'm slowly breaking. You make love so complicated. I'm only seeing blue. You make love so complicated. Why do I still believe? You make love so complicated.
I live my life searching for the light. Been learning to fight through the darkness. I'll get this right. We were born to shine, and we still got time. It's not hopeless. Don't look now. Here comes that awful feeling. My walls are caving in. Heaven help, I can see my ghost on the ceiling. Let me breathe again. 'Cause I just wanna live my life. I'm never backing down. I swear I'm gonna fight the good fight. Just wanna get it right. I'm ready for it now. You know I'm gonna fight the good fight. You know I'm gonna fight the good fight. You know I'm gonna fight the good fight. Fight the good fight. Yeah, I've lost my crown, but no, I will not bow. You know I'm here right now for the long run. Yeah, you see me down, but you know I'll never drown. You know I'll get back up on it somehow. Don't look now, here comes that awful feeling. My walls are caving in. Heaven help, I can See my ghost on the ceiling. Let me breathe again. 'Cause I just wanna live my life. I'm never backing down. I swear I'm gonna fight the good fight. Just wanna get it right. I'm ready for it now. You know I'm gonna fight the good fight. Fight the good fight. Fight the good fight. Fight. You know I'm gonna fight the good fight. Fight the good fight. Fight. You know I'm gonna fight the good fight. Fight the good fight. You know I'm gonna fight the good fight. You know I'm gonna fight the good fight. Fight the good fight. You know I'm gonna fight the good fight. 'Cause I just wanna live my life. I'm never backing down. I swear I'm gonna fight the good fight. Just wanna get it right. I'm ready for it now. You know I'm gonna fight the good fight. Good fight. Fight the good fight. Fight. You know I'm gonna fight the good fight. Good fight. You know I'm gonna fight the good fight. Fight the good fight.
hello everybody that is watching. I saw that they shared the link in the our Vietnamese channel, so I'm guessing we have a bunch of our Vietnamese community watching us right now. So hello, shout out to you all.
Nice.
Also, I bet you our Turkish community is watching as well. That is booming. I don't know if you've been actually following along there. Wilder specifically loves you. He runs one of our Turkish relays. I don't know if you guys know that. So, well, that's a fun person to join. Anyway, we'll wait for a little bit longer because people seem to be trickling in.
So I think, yeah, there's like 250 Turkish people in the community, actually.
Huge. Is Henrik in the crowd now?
Yeah.
Is he? Okay.
He was, yeah.
Henrik, you can come up to stage, by the way.
You might not know. I'll invite him. There we go.
There he is. Hi, Henrik.
Hey.
All right. Are we ready to go, you think, or?
Yeah, Cody's recording.
Wonderful. Well, we don't have Shanti this week. Benny is replacing Shanti, but Shanti is on vacation, a well-deserved vacation, and we miss her greatly. Feels like we just have a little bit more order and organization when she's around. So it's been pretty wild this week. But anyway, welcome everybody. Welcome all of our governance committee. Welcome all of our core team, and welcome to all of the community members watching on YouTube. That's where we stream, right? Is stream on YouTube or is it stream on Twitter? Okay, YouTube, cool. Welcome everybody. This is another weekly governance committee meeting, and we have a light one this week, so there should be a lot of time for open conversation. But also, I will actually have to leave early. I have a doctor's appointment, so I won't be able to actually be here for open. So somebody here has to be the overly opinionated person. So please, somebody take up that mantle while I'm gone. Anyway, so start with our mission. Reminder why you all are all here. So this is Voy. Why are you putting so much hard work into? Why is the community? What are we all in this for? We are building a blockchain that is how blockchain should be. We don't believe any other layer ones out there are doing this. And what that is building a blockchain that is owned and operated by the people that are actually putting in the value. That is you, the people that are actually the community, called community first chain. That is where this all started, and this is where this is going to end. We understand that doing something like this is harder. This is why nobody else does it. But we're willing to actually run through those walls, figure it out, make mistakes in a very transparent way. This is why we stream all of these meetings rather than have them behind closed doors. And this is why we have all of our conversations out in the open, because we want people to poke holes in our bad ideas. And because at the end of the day, this is not my chain. It's not Benny's chain. It's not Wilder's chain. It's not Gov's chain. It's not even the committee's chain. It's all of our chain. Just like we are a member, we're an equal member of what all of you are. So that is why we're here, because damn it, this needs to happen. This needs to exist. And blockchain that is majority owned by just a few of the wallets, it will never get to the dream of decentralization, a distributed chain. And so let's start out that way. Let's work hard to actually keep it that way. And that's what we're doing with Voy. And you guys are doing an amazing job so far. Proud of you every single week. I get mad at you every once in a while because you do things that make things harder. But in the end, you do it because it's what's right for the chain. There's a reason why we have so many different personalities, different backgrounds, and different opinions. Is because we need those thoughts and opinions to be able to actually build a chain that is what we all want it to be. So that being said, finally, we're back into work mode. All of you lazy people and your holidays and being with family. Just kidding. But not really. first of January, new year, brand new excitements. 2024, we're going to go to mainnets. It's going to be a thing that's going to be really exciting. Take the world by storm with a real blockchain. So this will be the year of Voy. So welcome to it. One of the really big, amazing updates. You see this new weird face down there on my screen. I don't know where it is. His name is Henrik. He is a new member of our core team. And he's actually somebody I've known for a very long time. I've been 12, 13 years. Henrik, is that all right? Give or take?
Yeah, give or take, yeah.
I worked with him a long time ago, and we actually met at ZMags. And as you probably all for you Voy historians, you might recognize the word ZMags, because that is also where I met Kelly and Sean Ford. We all worked together at the same company, and Henrik is one more of those. So write that down in the history books of Voy for you historians. But where Henrik and I kind of parted ways at that point, and he became super, super successful and amazing, and the world now knows his name. He has done amazing things. He went to the actual video side. He ran. He worked at MGM, Epic, Epics, or it's Epics, right? Epics, which is a video streaming site. And then when Epics was purchased by Amazon, he then worked at Amazon. He's also for you Voy historians, he's the one that got me into crypto. I'm sure you've all heard that story about how I have a jerk friend that I bought lunch for, and he told me he'd pay me back, and then he didn't pay me back for a while, and I kept bugging him, and then he finally paid me back in a thing called Bitcoin just to be a jerk. But joke's on him, he changed my life. And I also send him the copy of that receipt every once in a while, because it shows him how much he paid for that burrito. So thank you, Henrik, for that. But so he has been involved in crypto, not as much as I have, obviously, because I've devoted my life to it. But he is the one who actually taught me about it originally. But now we convinced him to not be at Amazon anymore and be at a much more promising company, a promising thing called Voy. And he's going to be heading up our tech side. He's the head of tech at Voy, at the part of the core team, and he's much better at it than any of us here. So hopefully he's going to be working with Eartho quite a bit to ease Eartho's pain. And he's also going to be heading up Voy ID. You've heard a little bit about Voy ID here and there, but Henrik is going to kind of spearhead that project. So that's why we brought him on, and I'm really excited. There's probably going to be one more person we bring into the core team within the next, say, 3 to 4 months, if we would find the right person. And that is somebody to kind of handle the treasuries. Somebody that knows how to handle multi-sig wallets, process around, making sure all of the treasury flows. And so we'll probably bring that, but then that's probably it. As you all know, our belief is core partners over core team, which means that we want to outsource. We want the community. We want external people to do a lot of the main things and put in proposals to do so. I think it's silly for foundations to be large. I think that they, at the most, this foundation will ever be, in my gut, is 12 people. And that would be the largest. So we're really going to be focusing on core partners come in to handle the load once we actually go to mainnet, because that is how you build a decentralized network. I don't believe that foundations, I believe that fat foundations or large foundations cripple the potential of decentralization of a network, because everybody relies on the foundation to do those things rather than individuals. And that means the foundation can never go away, because who will do those things? And so we're going to stay thin, stay light, and rely on the community to do things like we have already done so far. And as I said earlier, you guys are killing it. So keep on killing it. Other than that, one of the things that we are starting to plan is where we will be this year. We're still super early. I will be at least at ETH Denver. I think several other people, part of the core team, will be there as well. So if you're going to be at ETH Denver, say hi. We might have some drinks or anything, or a small little get together for the Voyagers out there. I'll be at DevCon this year, which will be in Southeast Asia. Hasn't been picked yet. I hope it's in Vietnam, and if it is in Vietnam, I will probably be spending time with our Vietnamese community. And I also told our Turkish friends that I'll try to make it to Turkey this year as well. So, that's about it. And the last thing on here is a hackathon reminder. It starts this week. So if you're a part of it, gear up, talk to your team, make sure that you're ready to crush it, because you will need all the help you can get to even come close to beating me and my team. Good luck, but it's not going to happen. Anyway, but that is all of it for me. Thank you all. Thank you for the tomatoes being thrown at me. Good. I appreciate that. And
as a judge, I can guarantee that it won't happen.
That's the sad part, is that Gov and Shanti are both judges, and they have both told me there's zero chance that I will win. But that is the fun part, is that we're still going to win, even though they said it's not going to be possible. That's how good we're going to be.
You're purely based on our recognition of lack of talent. It's not that we're biased. It's objective. We just
Objective.
don't think you have
Yes. Yes. So Jay and Shelly hear this trash this guy's talking. I'm not talking any trash about whatever. I'm just stating facts. So anyway, but back to you, Benny. Own it, and I might slowly sneak away soon. But thank you, everybody, and glad that we're back and actually working again.
Nice. Cheers, Chris. Hi, everyone. Honestly, it's not really that much to run through. There doesn't seem to be any new proposals at the moment. I do know that Kibisis will be submitting one shortly, whether or not that'll be today or in the coming days. So do keep an eye out for that one. I've been pushing Kieran to submit it sooner rather than later. But honestly, yeah, there's nothing really that needs to be done on your guys' end in terms of evaluations or DDs or anything like this. So really, that's probably all I have to say on the matter. And I'll probably just hand you off to Wilder to run through a few things that he wants to run through. But I think it'd be great, just given that we do have this bit of breathing room, for you guys just to make the most of the open floor. And if there's anything you guys want to bring up or discuss, then by all means, come on up here and start doing that. And if you have any questions for us or anyone else, then yeah, perfect opportunity. Maybe we can even take some questions from those on the YouTube channel as well. So yeah, I'll keep an eye on that at the same time and answer any that pop up, basically. But yeah, that's really all I have to say on that. So Wilder, I'll hand it over to you to run through your bits and pieces.
Oh, can everyone see that?
Yeah, there you go.
Awesome. So we had our directors meeting moved to Tuesday today. We stayed productive and we were able to go over the document I'm sharing right now. This is the documentation around submitting a bounty. We've been going through over the last couple meetings, thanks to Benedict and Scotty for helping me with this, but starting to unpack some of the written processes around how tokens should be released, proposals should be handled, and essentially all the written administrative information that, if we execute properly, which I think we will, this is going to be the foundation for that transparency outside of Discord. So the one that we jumped into this week, because it was relevant with the staking contract being submitted by the foundation, was going over the process for submitting new bounties. When we came into testnet, all the bounties were from the foundation. A lot of great ones, things that we all agree are necessary, and there's been some already great applications for them. The process itself didn't specify a separation for the foundation, so that's essentially what myself and the directors have added in. is a streamlining for foundation submitted bounties. It still gives us the opportunity to comment on it, and it still gives us the ability to discuss it in a meeting. So I would like to later in this meeting, it's not on the agenda, but we will take a look at the staking contract. But give us the ability to comment on it, give our feedback to the foundation. They're very responsive. It's always an open line of communication. Our concerns have always been addressed, and we expect that not to change. So this allows what the foundation wants to be a bounty to effectively become live for applications immediately. And I think this is just a way to streamline the process and make us not have to vote over things that we all agree are going to pass. So that's sort of where I'm coming from with that passing.
Hey, Wilder.
Yeah.
One of the things that I want to actually just urge and you to, and actually the rest of the committee to really think about is that now a bounty to me is not a promise. It is not a contract. Is not anything. It's just more of a suggestion of, we need this thing, right? And it's like, if you submit it, it still has to go through the proposal process. I think this is what you're doing it, but I really don't think that there should be any type of voting for anybody on the committee should be able to just say, here is a bounty that I think that we need. And maybe it's not like a vote or anything, but it's because it has to go through the proposal process again. I don't want to overburden process in streamlining things. So I would urge even more so to streamline things, but that's just my thoughts.
Okay, noted. I would say for the bounty board, we haven't specified in this that only committee members can suggest bounties right now. This is a sort of open ground for anybody to submit it. So it's the process that we've outlined is very similar to a first evaluation. So we would all have a vote on this, and I think the potential negative is controversial things going on the bounty board, which may send potentially the wrong message for what we're trying to focus on, just if we're not all agreeing on it. But I do think this is there's like no due diligence following after this. It is just the one vote, so I'm hoping that this is going to be not tedious and doesn't add additional or doesn't slow us down, but I think we can handle this. Everyone's very familiar with this process, and do you guys see the bounty evaluation form right now? Awesome. This is what the form looks like. Scotty whipped this up with and asked me for help as well. Here you'll see the writing. The one stipulation here, which is different, is the 70% threshold for our voting. So normally when we vote on a scale of 1 to 10, it doesn't really matter much except for due diligence to see where to focus. Now there is a little bit of relevancy to how you're voting on from 1 to 10. So the idea here is that there's not controversial bounties. There's bounties that we all agree on. So that's where we came from as the directors when we were figuring out these numbers. Does anybody have any? I'm having trouble seeing the step up to the mic, but does anybody have any comments on this?
I mean, my thoughts are, is even 50% quorum required for this? I think I worry that it could even be less, is my thoughts.
I definitely think there's strong committee sentiment around the 50%, or at least having the let's say the majority of the council voting on things.
Because my only thing is, like, because the bounty doesn't actually mean anything other than saying, yes, this is what we want it. It's just as easy to take it off if need be, if there is actually an uproar or anything of that sort. It's just more of a, to me, like requiring that 50% vote. I think it should be more of there's a 3-day period or a 1-week period or something of that sort, and whoever votes on it type thing. But that's just, once again, because this is more of a suggestion of things that people should submit proposals for, it should,
Does someone else from the council want to come up and maybe share their thoughts on this? I definitely see where Chris is coming with this, and obviously things are very fluid. Everyone's willing to take things to down or make adjustments on the fly. So I see where he's coming from with that. This is once again, I'm repeating myself a lot, but this was more following what we've traditionally done. So I think This was more not breaking the mold right now. Does anyone on the council feel strongly about this, one way or the other?
I mean, I don't really, I don't say I don't care, because of course I care. But I guess what I would say is, I think originally when we talked about this yesterday, Wilder, maybe I had a misconception here. So I thought this was really around not like approving the need for the bounty, maybe. And I thought it was more so around like evaluating, like, did they hit their marks, like the person who is submitting this proposal. But if this is just for, hey, the foundation thinks this should be a good bounty, do we want them to even like publicly ask for this? If that's just the case, I think, yeah, I don't think a quorum really matters necessarily. People show up, they want to vote on it, awesome. If there is some issue where, maybe a majority of the council missed it or something, and then it needed to be revisited, like, hey, actually, I know only 3 people said yes, and that's all that showed up, but now that we've actually thought about it, this shouldn't be approved. We could take it off the board, or even then, so if people come and submit something and say it follows the exact bounty laid out by the foundation, we could always still say no to the bounty, which maybe wouldn't be the best way to do it, just because people might say, well, hey, we came and chose your bounty, why are you telling us no now? But I do think that it would still probably apply there as well. So doesn't really matter to me. Of course, I think that if we're giving out money, it does need to be at least, whatever, 50%, probably more, but at least 50%. So,
Right. This is nothing to do with giving out anything.
Yeah, this is I think, or we know this is just for what hits the bounty board, what is considered an open bounty. So once again, I think this comes around what the direction is, or our bounties are saying what we're trying to accomplish. So the foundation, once again, totally streamlined, just comments, what they say within 1 week hits the board. For everyone else, there is a bit of a process before it hits, before it's considered finalized. But it still has that week of comment, and what does go to that bounty board, we will be able to talk about in the meetings to keep people informed. It's to try to move away from that Discord only communication and keep the whole council informed.
I think so. We could have a simple vote. No problem with that, but not like we need like 50% of the members to vote and 50% to say yes or something. Just if more than 50% agree, then it's fine. And in general, if I would come into the community and would see like, okay, there's a bounty, I think my assumption would be, okay, if I'm building something and it comes close to this, I'm likely to receive something. So there should be a kind of a way to say like, okay, if the council already knows they wouldn't appreciate anyone doing this, then it shouldn't be on the bounty board at all. But no need to complicate it too much, because just a simple vote, and if someone wants to say no, then they have the time to do so. But yeah.
So I think maybe Benedict, do you want to go?
Yeah, I think if I was a developer coming to the ecosystem, I think there would be an expectation that what is on the bounty board is what's needed, and I would be pretty much nearly entitled to be able to claim it at the very least, right? So I think there does need to be some kind of restrictions in terms of what does go up there. It doesn't make sense for there to be anything when who is the one actually paying out the bounty as well. I think there's definitely sort of different groups. It'd be great for the community to put up bounties, like kind of what's already happening ad hoc anyway, if you look at what Shelley's been doing. But I think it just needs to be clear in the bounty itself on who is the one going to be making the payout. But again, yeah, I think there definitely needs to be some kind of expectation that, number one, this is needed, and number two, there is a party that will pay somebody to fulfill the bounty.
Awesome. Sorry everyone I'm having trouble seeing the stage.
There's no one there, don't worry.
Screen. There's no one else?
No one else, no.
Okay. Well, what I'll say is, right, we didn't make the document, we just refined it and streamlined it more. and I think we're working towards things being even more streamlined. So this is definitely a step in the right direction. And please, share your feedback on where we've taken it so far. I think maybe coming more to the middle ground might be removing that 70% threshold and having it more of a simple vote with an easier form to fill in. But I think based on the meeting we had yesterday, that it's not a lot of work to fill in one of these evaluation forms if you've read the bounty. So I think for a starting point, this is great. And please, if you feel strongly about this, reach out. So that's the bounty evaluation, the form. This is all just administrative stuff that we wanted to keep everybody in the loop with. The exciting thing, and Chris talked about this last meeting a bit, is the smart contract staking bounty, which the foundation submitted. It's been over a week. We've all had a chance to comment on it. If we didn't comment it in the meeting last week, obviously valuable, certainly exciting. This is kind of blurring that line between testnet and mainnet, though it totally makes sense that it's a testnet thing. And I think as far as the meeting that we had, I personally am not technical enough to go through documents like these, vet these, say the merits, or give maybe like a fine critique on this bounty. More or less, my takeaway is it's very cool. I understand the reason why you would want something like this in place for mainnet, and that to have it ready for mainnet, it needs to be built in testnet. So from that standpoint, I think it makes a lot of sense. And if you go in a little bit deeper and look at the way that it's executed, and I think D13 gave us a preview of his documents, if I remember correctly, from last meeting, with a similar style, maybe not exactly, and I'd love to go in the nuance of that a little bit more, maybe. But the idea is the ability to vest and essentially lock tokens that can still work for you when mainnet comes, if to dumb it down maybe. But I think exciting to have. I would expect this to come later in the proposal cycle, but it seems like D13's almost there already. So yeah, that's the new bounty that's on the board. Does anyone have any comments on that, or we can leave it for open discussion?
Yeah, I'll probably just add the emphasis is not necessarily on the implementation details on how it's actually going to work. It's more on enabling those minimum requirements. We don't mind how it's implemented. We just care that it's going to fulfill those requirements at the end of the day. So yeah, the way D13 wants to approach it, I remember we had a brief discussion in the Discord, is absolutely fine by us.
I'll go into, if no one has questions on that, or we can save for open discussion. I just wanted to touch on one final document, or I guess two documents. This is what we have been looking at in the directors meeting, and we're trying to go through piece by piece, take a look at it, and then share with the council. I would put it on the administrative side, but this is outside of what Scotty has been managing. In a sense, like I think you'll obviously recognize 1 and 2 is sort of where we have been existing so far. There's a proposal coming in, we as a council evaluate it, but 3 onwards is going over how tokens are released, all the ways that we are executing this and doing it in a transparent way where you don't need to go into Discord to see the history of when someone was sent their tokens for completing a bounty. There's a lot of filling in of forms going on in here. It's a great place to start, in my opinion. I think Benny, you created this, if I'm not mistaken. So we went through it just from an overhead, and it looks very thorough and complete. Our perspective was, let's look for ways that we can simplify things, or systems where, for example, you send it to a proposer to fill out part of your form before you send it back, and essentially creating systems around this process so that we're spreading the work as best we can, not trying to overwhelm any one individual. And right now, what I just went over at the beginning was the it's not even on this, actually, the bounty submission, but one thing that I have gone through this week with Scotty was filling in one of these token release requests. So we're going to be sharing that. It's in a shared drive. It's in the tokens drive. We still don't have an Excel tracker created for it yet, but essentially this is going to be a place where you can see all the movings of bounty tokens and things like that outside of Discord and sort of that central hub. And the directors meetings, if we don't have other pressing issues, we're just sort of going through this top down and looking at the documents, making sure we've read through them, and then we want to bring them to you in the meetings based on sort of what our agenda is to fill in slower times.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about including the bounty process in this because
Certainly.
proposals ultimately can be completely separate from them. But yeah, definitely, I think running through the process for the first time will reveal things that can be cut down to be shorter or even just completely removed, to be honest. So yeah, I think it'd be great to do a little dry run.
Well, that being said, the final thing, and then let's go to open discussion or anything that I've commented, anything I've been talking about, is what Chris brought up in the last meeting, which was the idea of combining stage 1 and stage 2. I looked around for documentation on it or sort of what has been said about the stages, and with the directors, we tried to go through sort of pros and cons. Right now, it's laid out on GitHub. There's a breakdown where it goes through the stages. I think when this was made, and correct me if I'm wrong, the goal of this was to give each individual stage the attention it needed based on the community that we had, or not to maybe fracture the community between two different directives. And based on the growth and the size of the community, I think that's what we've thought was the reason why it made sense to combine these, because things are moving quickly. There's a DEX already. The hackathon is going to bring a lot of the NFT infrastructure over. So I think this is a good place to start for open discussion. But every conclusion we came to with the directors, it was hard to, other than a marketing plan, you couldn't really justify splitting up the categories based on the community that we already have.
Maybe to say something about this, I was like thinking about cons, and besides like being overwhelmed with like if there would be like a problem with the NFT stuff, or if there would be like a problem with the DeFi stuff, there wasn't like a real con I could think of. So I was like, okay, that means if we don't fuck up, everything is great, and sounds good to me.
That is in essence kind of where we were at, and I think it's exciting that we're in a position where both can be combined, and things are sort of accelerating faster than I know I was aware of. I was kind of taken by surprise when a second DEX appeared out of nowhere last week. So I'm certainly excited about this. I don't know if we, I don't know the process, if you will, of declaring these stages, or I know I wasn't involved in declaring stage 1, but as far as our role in this, I think I can speak for the majority of us when I say that it makes a lot of sense to sort of go for it, and I think we can achieve and do both stages at once.
I think the only thing is just going to be the required bounties that need to be completed to then progress into this multi-stage phase. Obviously, it increases the number of different projects that do need to be gone over the line, but I think we're pretty much nearly there for the most part. Just looking at it now, we just need the token war scripts and NFT marketplace, NFT indexer, and like you said, these will hopefully get done during the hackathon anyway. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see where we are in a month's time, and if we can just go straight into a multi-stage phase, if you will.
Yeah, quick question, Benny. I don't know how much like the foundation has really discussed it, but I know you kind of mentioned, possibly next month. What is like, there's obviously not a date set, but do you guys have maybe a better range? Obviously, from the humble side of stuff, we're currently working on our bounty, and we're trying to, not push it to the last minute, but we want to bring the best experience. So we're just kind of looking to know what our timeline is. Obviously, we want to be launched for the Token Wars. So if you had any insight, that would be awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it really depends on if we do combine the two phases. But ultimately, the way we're doing this, it's very milestone based, not time based, but which obviously doesn't really help you in your question. But ultimately, it's up to you guys, the council, to actually decide when we progress to the next phase. We have put in sort of advisory. We would expect or require these different bounties to be fulfilled before we even consider having a vote on it. But really, it's up to you guys. And at the end of the day, it just comes down to how quickly, the community or everyone in this room and on YouTube and beyond can actually get some of these bounties over the line. So obviously, I think if I was just to take the NFT stuff aside and just look at just the progressing, say, into the DeFi phase, just assuming we were keeping them separate, there really is just the Token War scripts that needs to get done. So it's just a matter of them getting over the line. Hopefully that'll be done within the next month or so. But I think we'll have a better idea coming out of the hackathon. But I think Examian is tackling that right now. He might actually be in a better position to answer that question than me. So yeah, I don't know if Examian, if you are here, maybe that's something you could answer in the chat or otherwise. But other than that, on the NFT side, again, I think it's just a matter of getting an index or a marketplace, which honestly, if in the hackathon, all of these things get completed, I don't see any reason why we couldn't try and do this within the next kind of month, really. I mean, but that's just me. I'm very impatient. I would love to see all of this done by the end of the month and us roll into the next phases. But just do bear in mind that one of the reasons we did split the phases out was so that there were sort of distinct games or activities that people can partake in to earn tokens and not, say, overwhelm people with too many options or too many ways to participate. But yeah, absolutely no issue with combining these. And again, it's completely up to you guys, really. But yeah, to answer your question, I would aim for the end of the month, basically, to try and get these features implemented in time for the DeFi phase.
Cool. Yeah, that from our side should probably be no problem. We get a just I guess for a little bit of small alpha for everyone here, but we get the new I guess what would we call it, front end, the new UI for the Void version in about a week to 10 days. They're still working on it, but we'll have that. Then obviously we got to implement it. So excited to see a new look.
That's great.
Nice. I'm excited for that. And I will just add, if anyone is interested in collaborating with Examian, I think when we last touched base, this might have changed since Examian, but he was looking to make it into quite a modular build. So what it would mean that people could come up and actually pick up the individual KPIs to implement the logic, because it is quite a big lift in terms of actually building the script to do this. But obviously Examian has experience building the framework, having done the airdrop script. So what this could enable is people to come up and take a share of the bounty as opposed to just one person claiming the whole thing, which I think would be quite interesting. So if there are any other developers out there that are looking to sort of pick up something that's quite self-contained in terms of just implementing logic, this could be quite interesting. And I know Shelley as well has actually done some stuff in his spare time as well to actually try and record some of these metrics, which I think just coincidentally just happened to align with some of the KPIs with the Token Wars. But I think it'd be great to get some more people on this and give Examian a hand, really, because it is quite a big lift at the end of the day.
Awesome. One thing I wanted to bring up that came up at the end of our meeting yesterday was trying to the way that we help node runners right now and the way our community is working. I know a lot of us are really focused on the node running side of it, and that's really the only place we can provide help to people right now. For new people coming in, or maybe people who have already been running nodes but want to have a more technical experience, I think it's been great that there's been open offices available for people. Cody, Lobo have made themselves available a lot. There's lots of names, but one of the things that was expressed was, and I think this could be an opportunity for council members to help with this, or maybe a community member, is create a space where maybe more hands-on or in-depth help can be given. Maybe there's a way that we can. I know everyone right now is sending rain and tokens to people when they help onboard people, but I think there's a way that we can create a system where you essentially leave a review for the person who helped you get your node online, and sort of like a little bit of feedback, your process of setting up a node. I think it'd be cool to get feedback, but I also think it would be nice to give people easier ways that they can sort of know they participate and sort of know they're going to get rewarded in a sense, and not just hope to get one of us spot them and send them tokens. So something I wanted to bring up, because I think it would obviously bring more node runners on, and don't have any numbers assigned to this. I just wanted to verbalize this.
I think that'd be quite nice, some kind of nomination system to highlight anyone that's helped you, because often I'll log on and it's be overwhelming, the number of messages within a given day, and it's hard to pick out individual people that are helping others. And sometimes a general thanks is all that can be done. But I definitely would it'd make it a lot easier, to be able to reward people that are contributing in this way ultimately. So I'd be on board with that. As long as it's, people can't self nominate or nominate their friends and whatnot. But obviously, it's just a matter of policing the system.
Maybe to add an idea, it feels like if new people come in at the moment, they are not all using the D13 as thing, and then it's like they are stuck with a problem, and the things we gotta ask them to be able to fix it is like always the same. So it's like always, okay, what did you what kind of thing did you use? What guide? What did you do? What didn't you do? And maybe we could have don't want to call it like a form, but maybe so we can just say, okay, can you give us the following information? And then have 3-4 things that we need to know anyways, if they are new. And then and from there, it would be maybe easier for people to help again. So it's not because at the moment also it feels like if they have a problem, honestly, one of the best recommendations is stop your system, delete everything, and use a D13 guide. Because it's okay, we can try to find the problem you have, but it's most likely that you didn't follow one command in the guide. And to find out which command they didn't use or did use in a different way is kind of annoying in a sense. And just an idea.
No, I like that. And, I know Cody did put together an FAQ channel, and I think I even added an FAQ section onto the node running guide, but there's only so much reading that people do before they just want to ask a question, which I completely get. I'm one of those people as well. I feel like I'll never be applicable to the FAQ. So I think something like this would work quite nicely. And you're right, it is always just give us the same information. And more likely than not, we can try and actually work out what the issue is. I get people, messaging me constantly saying I've got an issue or XYZ, and I always have to try and redirect them to the node help channel because other people are likely to have that issue. Maybe there is just a forum that's not a channel, because I think the issue with the channel is just things just get lost. I'm never going to read up 2 or 3 scrolls worth unless it's in the same day, and no one else is going to either if they've got a problem getting online. So I definitely like that recommendation logo of some kind of forum based help system, and it would be a lot easier as well for me and anyone else that is actively helping to just rattle through them instead of trying to skim and read and see who needs help. And again, it just feels like they're kind of at the mercy right now of if somebody sees it, which is not ideal basically.
Yeah, hi guys, can you hear me?
We can.
So I'm one of the people that is raising my hand on this one too, and thanks Benedict for helping me. I'm having trouble with my node. It keeps not syncing. Benedict and I tried to troubleshoot it, actually couldn't solve that problem. So I'm a big proponent of having some kind of forum or somewhere where there's some help that we can do, and maybe even share some of our experiences because maybe someone else is having the same issue that I'm having, and then once it's solved, that could help other people as well.
Yeah, no, I think your issue is absolutely bizarre. Honestly, like it's pulled the latest block, but it will still never sync. I couldn't for the life of me work out what was going on there. And yeah, it's just the best option was to reinstall everything and start again. But yeah, let's go ahead and do that then. Actually, let's just create a new forum where someone's help request is actually not just lost into the ether after 2 hours.
I think Lobo had a great suggestion there about giving or Benny being able to assign people roles of node helpers if they want to. I think that's at least to start a nice way to also for readability of the channel. It's not just a chain of potentially unknown people. At least someone coming into the channel will know, oh, I can trust this person, or this is a reputable source. So let's please anyone else definitely would be a good time of our open discussion to brainstorm a little bit here for other ways we can bring on more node runners or make the process better for new people coming in this month.
No, I love that idea, actually. It's a great shout, Lobo. Yeah, coupling that with the forum, it's going to be easy for people to talk to who they need to.
Awesome. As for trying to get this to happen, I'm just going to be talking in the Gov discussion and sharing and reaching out to people. If you feel strongly anyway about it, I'm not trying to make a proposal form or anything like that right now. I'm just trying to solve the problem and not try to make paperwork out of it. So I'd love any additional help, and I'm happy to champion this. If other people want to help brainstorm, I'm available for. We're available on Friday this week. If anyone would like to join our meeting, I know IRL is upset with our 1 p.m. meeting time, so this will be a 12 o'clock meeting time EST. So Friday at 12, if anybody would like to join that meeting, we can do a little bit more brainstorming there, and I'd love to get more feedback on this. That's covered absolutely everything that we talked about for our open discussion in the directors meeting, what I wanted to talk about today. Does anyone else have any topics they'd like to share, or things that the community should know? Cool. Don't want to put anyone on the spot. We are working to find for the committee right now. We've been with the group that we've had for quite a while now. We're working to find a solution for anyone in the committee right now who's having trouble with time commitments or when we're meeting. We're trying to find solutions. So anyone in the council or in the community who has feedback, please share it in community voice or reach out through messages or add us. Please share your feedback and your comments. It's all appreciated, and all is taken under advisement. Lobo?
Just because I heard about it again, it was like, okay, it seems okay. TD obviously has problems with the WoW map, and because he couldn't attend any meeting. I heard like that Bunsan also had problems with it, and I think today someone else said that they can see only half the UI on mobile. Do you know anything more about like what WOM is doing with their mobile apps and if stuff will be fixed? Because it's kind of sad that they can't attend.
Yeah, now I'm going to be honest, I'm not sure exactly what Rome is doing in terms of updating their mobile app. I mean, I know they're releasing updates pretty much every other day, but it's something that, I'll ping one of the founders today and I'll post what they say in the Discord channel. Just so that just give you something concrete instead of me trying to work out when it might be.
Awesome.
I'll send him a
And-
message right now. But if there is anything that anyone does want to discuss or anything at all, then go for it. Just feel free to step up. It's completely open floor right now.
If people do also, I know we have people building exciting things. So Andrew shared a little bit. I think it'd also be a fair time if you did want to give some previews or updates of what you're building. I know I could definitely talk about what Shelly's been building, having used it. So hats off to him for guiding a lot of the community through the very beginnings of Void DeFi. It's been fun, and he's developed a cool system for wrapping Void, making it all a ARC200 asset. So shout out to him and WebDev who made Nomadex. Those have been two standouts this week.
Yeah, Nomadex came out of nowhere. I was very excited to actually start using that. It was quite fun, to be honest.
Yeah, I've been watching that the price, and I feel like there's a consensus around one Void is worth 2 VIA. I think that's around where it sits. And for some reason, it's not my time zone when the trading happens. I keep missing the I guess it's the UK mornings maybe, but it's definitely fun to watch what's going on.
Yeah, I missed the dip this morning, which I was quite infuriated about. Because yeah, it was nearly parity at 1. So yeah, I can see somebody picked up a deal, basically.
Yeah.
Looking at it.
Yeah, that's
Right. Yeah, I don't think we have any questions on the YouTube anyway. So yeah,
we got two people up, Zyphoid and Andrew.
Andrew and I are battling. I just wanted to hype up the hackathon. Like, so I'm judging. I'm excited. It's gonna be great. I'd love to hear, some of the projects that people are excited about, what you guys are working on, like what's, let's talk about some of this. Have some fun.
That is a great idea. Let me see if I actually get up the email. Where's the team list? Okay, here we are. I'll tell you what people are working on. So we have MG flipping algos and Easy Tiger tackling the NFT indexer. We have Chris, Jay, and Shelly tackling the NFT bridge. We have Examian, myself, and Kieran tackling the decentralized bridge, so AVM bridge, which obviously will work for Algorand, but also any other AVMs that might pop up. And then finally NFT Launchpad by Ost and Mitch and Probs. But again, if there is anyone watching that does want to partake, this isn't closed off. Feel free to even just rock up on the day and start hacking along us and have a good time. We'll all be hanging around in the Roam Room and just in and out of the different channels. But yeah, I think it's gonna be good fun, to be honest. I'm pretty sure. I know Chris keeps bigging up his team, but those who are loudest, right? I'm pretty sure our team's gonna do pretty well. Examian, I don't really think I'll be able to add much value relatively speaking to Examian and Kieran, but does remind me that we all need to actually probably jump on a call before Friday, the individual teams, just to coordinate things with each other. So Examian, I think let's try and sort that out at some point. We'll do relatively okay, as Examian's saying. I think it's going to be pretty exciting, and yeah, we've been chatting to Inc as well, because obviously they're quite important for the decentralized bridge components at the very least. But I think that is actually one of the milestones that we want to try and hit before we go to mainnet. So again, it's quite an important one. But we may as well start working on that now, basically.
And Inc is on board and happy to have these conversations.
Yeah, they're basically, it's just one of the pull requests that they have open right now is in order for the decentralized bridges to work. I can share a link for what the pull request is essentially, I don't remember what it is off the top of my head. There's just a particular branch of code that needs to be merged to enable this to work. But at the end of the day, Algorand was actually architected from the beginning to support multiple chains. This decentralized bridging is how that was envisioned. So this is actually something that's been built in from the very beginning to work. It's just a matter of getting some of the final little bits and pieces over the line.
Nice. Well, Chris is definitely not going to win, so we are supporting everyone but Chris. Yeah, I see William nodding his head. Yeah, he's in agreement.
That's what I want to hear.
Correct.
I'm glad. Well, we may as well just vote now, guys.
Oh, we should. Yeah. Well, Chris loses, and everyone. It's a race for everyone else.
Correct.
Nice. But yeah, I mean, and also if anyone just wants to pop in and just see what's going on, just feel free. It's going to span the whole of Friday, the whole of Saturday, and the whole of Sunday. So yeah, if anyone's just about wants to pop in, have a chat, see what people are building, or yeah, like I said, maybe just start hacking along at the same time, or if you just want to join a team and just maybe pick up the odd thing, then just absolutely go for it. But no, I think it's going to be exciting having the pitches on the Sunday, and again, we'll probably broadcast that, and again, it's going to all be on Roam, which might be to some people's detriment on the mobiles, but I think yeah, we'll see what's going on there.
Will it be the same link as what this meeting was?
Potentially. Cody was educating me the other day on exactly how to set up the Roam links, and apparently we can keep reusing the same link. So I'll endeavor to ensure that does happen. But if not, I will broadcast a new one, or Shanti will when she's back to on the Discord and in emails to all of you guys as well.
Great, and yeah, just FYI, the weekly calendar item has an expired link.
Yeah. Shanti was the organizer, so I couldn't actually edit that one. So apologies about that. But thank you. Yeah, we'll make sure to update that one going forward.
All right, I'll step down. Let's go.
I have a feeling Cody might want to make a comment on that, so I'm going to let him speak. Honestly, my question isn't super important, so I'll let him go. And if
Even better. Thanks, Cody. Yeah, I forgot about the guest passes. So yeah, all hackathon participants can come and go as they please. And
Okay,
if
my-
you're nice, you get one as well.
my one question, I have a feeling it's going to be a pretty short answer. Do you guys have a timeline or something near that for around when you guys can disclose details around the initial raise and obviously any subsequent raises after?
Yeah, no, it's a great question. Ultimately, it just comes down to entity formation, which we're currently in the process of. I would be remiss in giving you a definitive time on when that would happen. Again, it's kind of similar to your question earlier with the phase of the testnet. It's more milestone based than time based at this point. Really, once the entities are in place, we as individuals have the protection to be able to discuss these things. So I wouldn't want to give you any kind of answer to that in terms of time, because I would, I would just be lying, to be honest.
There's no worries.
Time per se, but basically the answer really is just as soon as possible. There's just a few more things that we need to go through with the lawyers and the accountants to get things over the line.
Cool. And then quick follow up with that. Where is Voy going to be located for the entity?
So the entity itself, so it depends. Again, is the entities are still being formed. We do have an entity in BVI, so British Virgin Islands, Voy Inc. But obviously there'll be a number of different entities, and well, we'll see what happens basically when it comes to that. But we'll be able to release all of those details very, very shortly, I'm hoping. And again, it's just a matter of just crossing some T's and dotting some I's, essentially. But yeah, right now, BVI is where the entity that we do have exists. Brilliant. I don't know if we've got any more questions. Otherwise, we've hit the hour mark, so I don't want to keep you guys for too much longer. But yeah, there's nothing else anyone wants to say, then we can end it there, really. Brilliant. Well, you guys have a lovely weekend, or weekend. Have a lovely week, but do have a lovely weekend too when we get there. Cheers. Bye bye.
Recording stopped.